Yashvardhan Azad is joining us. We have Dr. Kamal Sohi as well. Yashvardhan Azad, on the face of it, somebody is protecting this accused. And only because he's a VVIP. And a rich man's
Absolutely.
son.
In fact, in all such cases where the Audis or Mercedes or Lamborghinis are involved, everyone gets into to sort of support the accused. As you can see that the first thing which should have been done was to arrest this guy, but a driver. This is a usual ploy, Maria. It has been happening for 40 years that whenever a rich man is indicted in a particular case, it's always the driver who's sent for arrest. Then, of course, all those sections are put which are bailable, which we have seen. There should have been a culpable homicide not amounting to murder. There should have been sections added for 7 years. If you see all the 4 sections which have been put in this case, they are all below 3 years. But Maria, I'm also surprised by the court. It's fine to, point out lapses. But judiciary also is there for giving justice, not only criticizing. It could have redirected investigation in a fresh manner. They could have asked the prosecution. It's not that the justice arm of justice is totally separate.
But
So
Yashvardhan
I'm
Azad, would
really
you, since you're talking about justice and judiciary at the lower court level, do you think that they take that extra step? They go with the clear processes here. And here, if there are the arrest has not been carried out without proper notice under BNS, there is violation of Supreme Court guidelines, then they are just following the piece of law here, the rule book.
No, you see, the police is certainly to be blamed. There is no doubt about it. In fact, in all such cases, immediately the senior officer should get involved. And I'm really shocked because in such cases, you're quite aware if a Mishra has been caught, who's the tobacco king, the entire Kanpur city would know, the ministers would know, the MLAs would know. So there is a quiet complicity in this entire exercise. There's no doubt about it. So hence I'm talking about the lower courts who do not play their role at all by merely giving out 4 or 5. This is usual, attacking the police and telling them. The prosecutors are there. The prosecutor is not a policeman. They could have indicted them that how did you put up this case without any proper guardrails or safeguards. So it's unfortunately is the entire ecosystem which is mixed up. I don't want to take names, but you understand what I'm trying to drive at. This is the most unfortunate part of our system today.
Absolutely. But, one would say, Dr. Kamal Sohi, that the other side should have been prepared, that this is how in most of these, crash cases, the VIPs and those who are rich and powerful get away with.
I fully, agree with you, this has happened in the case in this Kanpur, this happened in the case in Pune, this happened in the case, Nanda case in Delhi as well. What is happening is the police become complacent by looking at their profile. They always try to, this is open and shut case. The person was taken out of the injured Lamborghini by his bouncers. And it was apparent that this guy was the only, he was the only guy who was behind wheels. And how come a driver appears and then police gave a theory that this guy was not driving. The driver, there was another guy, driver was driving the vehicle. So once you are not able to, there is 2 fears in the road safety. That is, one is fear of being caught. So you are caught red-handed and in front of the cameras. Then the fear of being punished. Here, this fear of being punished is not seen at all. You are scot-free after injuring score of people and they've been put at risk of being even death. Now, the question is, law should be same for everybody. Whether you are a VVIP, you are a tobacco king, or you are a liquor king, or you are a automobile king. So now the question here is, we cannot let go these kind of people. If we let go these kind of people, law will stay only in the books, and people will stop, having trust in our policing. So here, police failed. This total system failed. There was no crash investigation as such.
But
so
this has been the case.
Did the accident?
What happens in this particular case is not really an exception. VIPs, rich and powerful, have been getting away for years now in this country.
Yes, you are right, absolutely, Maria, and this should not happen. Law should be same for everybody. And now what we can, I
The
remember
question is, why
Salman
was
Khan.
no medical test conducted on Shivam
I
after the
remember
crash?
Salman Khan
Why was
was
Shivam
given
allowed
a
to leave
sentence for 7 years,
Kanpur for
and
Delhi?
High
Multiple
Court
questions.
was.
Listen to me, Dr. Kamal Soi. Why was Shivam allowed to leave Kanpur for Delhi? Why was no medical test conducted on him? Multiple such questions need an answer of Yashwardhan Azad, and the Kanpur police doesn't have answers to most of these questions.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yashwardhan Azad.
Suspended. It should not only be the SHO.
I mean, and
should
if
be-
it was about UP police, then why wasn't he arrested in Delhi? He
That's
did travel to
absolutely
Delhi.
right. You know why, Maria? Because the law cannot be the same for everyone, because the gutka kings or the tobacco kings or all these liquor magnates are the ones who are paying a lot of money to the political parties. So you understand their clout is absolutely immeasurable. In this particular case, in fact, the DCP included should be suspended, and the Commissioner Kanpur should be held for inquiry. This is a case which needs an examination right from the top, but unfortunately, the court itself does not play its role. I'm very sorry to say it. If a case comes to you in a bust up manner, you have the authority to redirect the investigation in a particular manner, and the prosecutor itself also should be suspended in this particular case. So there is supposed to be, thank God for the media and the TV channels which have brought this case. Otherwise, it has been happening for the last 5 decades in exactly the same fashion.
Let me give you the last word, Dr. Kamal Soi.
Yeah, if we want to stop this kind of massacre on the roads, we have to be very, very strict. The countries world over, whosoever been able to reduce the number of deaths and injuries and this kind of road terrorism and road ravage, we have to be strict, and without enforcement and without the people at helm of affairs, the punishment should be exemplary. And here, no medical done. This guy his age is not verified and is scot free. And this gives an example. If you are rich, you can buy law. If you are poor, you will be only behind bars. Only the rich can play with the law. And laws, like I will not like to use the word, laws like that in the hands of riches. I always believe, and I
Okay.
pray to the
I
God.